本気でかかってこい、ボルト。俺は忍びだ。
With the highly popular currently running manga Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Boruto Uzumaki has quickly become one of the most powerful and dominant powerhouses in the entire Boruto verse. Due to the trials and tribulations Boruto has had to endure, particularly post-plot twist, it has forced him to tap into his own will of fire, passed down by his father and previous generations of shinobi, which allowed him to finally start to reach his full potential, with him now having preposterous levels of power, effortlessly taking down No Limiter Code, who was even stated to be above the likes of Jigen. Since the start of the Boruto narrative, the fandom has naturally compared father to son and vice versa, attempting to deduce if Boruto compares to his legendary father. So in today's video, we will be answering that very question and analyzing this father versus son matchup. Now with us all knowing basically how strong Naruto is at this point, I will primarily be scaling current Boruto and then comparing him to his father to answer the question of who would win. Early on in 2 Blue Vortex, we learned that under Sasuke's mentorship, Boruto learns all of his abilities and strategies in only about a year's time, cementing him as one of the greatest prodigal figures within the verse of all time. Additionally, Boruto at the commencement of 2 Blue Vortex is shown effortlessly defeating No Limiter Code, who, as I've already shown, is stated to be even above the likes of Jigen, with Jigen being the very individual who quite decisively defeated a prime Naruto and Sasuke who were blatantly going all out. Now for those that say, well, the only supplemental evidence to suggest that No Limiter Code is above Jigen are statements made by Amato and Damon, meaning you can't prove that's actually the case. Well, firstly, that is an appeal to ignorance, and secondly, Amato is quite literally the most intelligent person on Earth, being the very man that created these godlike cyborgs himself, and Damon being an immensely powerful cyborg who rarely compliments his opponents due to his confidence and arrogance. Meaning, Amato and Damon are certainly reliable sources, with especially Amato being one being very knowledgeable of the cyborg's capabilities, and also being very knowledgeable of Jigen's abilities, with him, as we all now know, plotting to eliminate Jigen at that point in the narrative. Hence, with all that being said, current Boruto quite safely scales above prime Naruto before accessing Baryon mode during his battle with Ishiki Otsutsuki, with Boruto again effortlessly dominating Code, while conversely, Naruto, even with Sasuke's help, being defeated quite decisively at the hands of Jigen. Now, despite that particular matchup being easy to conclude on, we are now left with the question of, is current Boruto above the likes of Baryon mode Naruto, with Baryon mode being arguably the single greatest display of power we have ever seen in the Boruto/Naruto verse, with even Ishiki Otsutsuki paling in comparison. Now naturally the first question to answer is how strong was Baryon mode Naruto exactly? Well, since we only get to observe Baryon mode Naruto in battle for a short duration, we are forced to speculate on how strong he is. The best way to approach this question is to gain an understanding of how strong Ishiki is, as he is the only opponent Baryon mode Naruto had. When Ishiki is spoken about, he is consistently spoken about in the highest of esteem, with Kawaki openly stating that Ishiki is unbeatable, with Amato essentially agreeing with him, again being arguably the smartest man on Earth, with both these individuals obviously also being very familiar with Ishiki and what kind of danger he presents. Even someone as biased as Kawaki, who hates Ishiki to his core and loves Naruto like a father, with him literally stating that a world without Naruto isn't worth living in, admits that Ishiki is quite literally unbeatable, meaning at that point in the narrative, Ishiki was most likely the strongest single entity in the entire Boruto verse. So now going back to Baryon mode Naruto's scaling, Naruto was able to actually dominate Ishiki when in this form, having such a fast reaction time that Sasuke openly implies and admits that Naruto's reaction speed is quite literally faster than his own perception speed, even with him possessing a 6-pass amped EMS, with an individual's perception speed usually being far above their own reaction speed, which only makes Baryon mode Naruto look all the more impressive. Hence, Naruto speed-wise and in general ability reached a level so high that even the former strongest entity in the verse paled in comparison to him, with Naruto beating him in a taijutsu exchange so badly that it appeared that even Ishiki was getting perception blitz at times, meaning that Naruto had such a drastic amplification in power that he was in fact far and away the strongest individual in the entire verse at that point in the narrative. So with all that being said, how does current Boruto compare to Baryon mode Naruto? Well, simply put, there is not currently any clear indication that Boruto has surpassed even Ishiki Otsutsuki levels of power, let alone Baryon mode Naruto levels of power. Although it is quite clear again that Boruto has surpassed Jigen levels of power with his utter dominance over code, no comparison to Ishiki has been made in the narrative as of yet. However, to be fair to Boruto though, you could make the logical argument that because Boruto only in base, without even really using any real effort, so badly defeated Code that perhaps the gap between him and Code is wide enough that he is even above Baryon mode Naruto. Now the reason I don't personally conform to this argument is because Baryon mode Naruto was far above Ishiki, who hasn't been compared to anybody else, with only Jigen being stated to be below Code, meaning transitively, the gap between Baryon mode Naruto and Jigen is so vast that currently anyone comparing to him power-wise seems unlikely. Hence in conclusion, via Occam's razor, it is still the case that father is above son. However, I wouldn't be surprised if that changes soon, with the immense and rapid progression of Boruto as a shinobi currently. And there you guys have it folks, that is the video. Feel free to leave your thoughts below as I'm aware of the contentiousness of this topic, whether you disagree or not. Anyways, I hope you folks enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay classy.